Hello, Tongue and Roof meetings together. We are in Domain I, marketing. So you have done so much work learning how to plan your event, how to put it all together, and now we're going to market this event to make sure people show up. So let's dive in to our final domain, Domain I marketing, where 18 questions from the exam come from this domain. So we did the first 3 skills in marketing. So marketing, the 4 P's in a marketing plan: product, price, place, and promotion. And how it relates to events, the product would be the event, so the event that you're holding. The price would be the cost of the event, how much it is to attend your event. The place would either be the position in the marketplace or the location of the event. And then promotion, what media tools are you using to market this event? So those are the 4 P's in a marketing mix. And then the 4 steps to a marketing plan. We have our first step, which is create situational analysis. And this is when you're going to conduct the SWOT, which was the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. And then we're going to define our target market. Who are we trying to get to come to our event? Who did we plan this event around? And then we're going to know the difference between psychographics and demographics. And then the next step is to select our distribution channel. So how are we going to get the word out? Website, email, social media. Where are our people that we want? Where are they at? How do we just, put our information out there where we know they're going to see it? And then the final step, the 4th step, is to implement the plan. It's go time. Let's put into action everything that you did to plan this fabulous event. So, are we not moving down to the next one here? There we go. This bud's for you. Okay, so marketing and promotional items. You want to make sure that what you're doing with your bags and your promotional items and your stickers and your everything that you're doing to promote, that you choose to follow your goals and objectives. As we know with everything, it's the roadmap that we live and die by, right? When you're selecting promotional products, you want to make sure, does this piece support our event's branding? I gave the example inside that, this would be a great promotional product for Budweiser, but a koozie is not going to work well for, say, a group that's in recovery. So you want to make sure that what you pick makes sense. You also want to pick something that the attendees are going to cherish and continue to use beyond the event. So it brings the experience of your event home with them. And then marketing, if let's say you get them a fabulous bag that they're always using, like a backpack, and every time they pick it up and use it, they're going to remember your event. And then if their bestie loves that bag, then, oh, where did you get that? Oh, I got that at XYZ conference. Ooh, what's that? So make sure that, you're picking smart things. And then just because you've always done it doesn't mean it still works. So make sure you're doing an audit. We always want to keep those, the same things that we do every year because it's familiar, but you want to make sure that it still works and that the reasons for doing it are still valid. So also always be consistent with your messaging as well as design elements. So don't, if you're putting out a professional piece, always stay professional. If you're being casual in your marketing, then be casual throughout. So always just be consistent. Use your organization or event logo on all marketing materials. If you're creating a specific logo for this event, put it out there on everything that you do. Communicate your timeline with vendors in the RFP bidding phase. So you want to make sure that you're hiring vendors that understand your timeline. So they can tell you even before you start working with them if it's realistic for them. So make sure that you know to do that in the RFP phase. Establish a delivery schedule for items that should be distributed. Again, that's something that you're going to have a date on, so you're going to work that in your critical path, right? And visualize the event from the perspective of the attendee. We talked about this in another domain. You want to walk in the shoes of your attendee. Be experiencing as if you were on the other side. Getting that perspective will show you how you need to market towards that. Track how materials are being used and received. If you are printing off schedules, if you're printing off maps, and each time and nobody's taking them, you've printed off 150 and only 10 people have picked up the material, you know that next time you only need about 50. So make sure you're tracking that. Produce and distribute marketing materials in alignment with your marketing plan. Promotional products created to build the brand and increase the value of the company. That's really what it's rooted in. Start by reviewing previous products. Again, what have you used in the past? What's worked before in the past? What hasn't worked? But again, just make sure that when you're reviewing what you've done in the past, that you're not just doing it because it's what you've always done. Products should be useful, have a long shelf life, and relevant to the attendee. And you're going to know that because of all the market research. What is relevant for your attendee? Consider adding premium gifts. I use the example of the Tiffany pen. If you need a budget for that, obviously, and the premium gifts. If you don't have to put your logo on a Tiffany pen when you give that as a gift, people will remember who that came from. Consider the purpose, the number of participants, your budget, and your messaging. So make sure you want to consider those factors when selecting your promotional products. Know the lead times required for producing, printing, and delivering these items too. So make sure you're working those timelines into your ESG. Merchandise. All right, so support, you want to make sure that whatever you're selling, so the difference between the promotional product and the merchandise is what you're selling. This is what you're going to make money off of. So you want to make sure that it supports the mission statement, your goals and objectives, and your brand positioning. Research your target audience. You want to fill the need. So that is what you want to focus on. Research the audience. What do they need? What does your attendee want? Fill their need. You want to make sure you're staying within your budget, and still using a quality vendor. We've all heard the saying, you get what you pay for. So you want to make sure that when you're setting your budget, that it's realistic so you can get quality merchandise to be able to sell. Determine the purpose and needs. Again, if you're a swim association, maybe you're going to do your merchandise as bathing suits and swim goggles, as opposed to sweatshirts and parkas. Determine pricing. Again, not just pricing for the merchandise and what you're going to sell it at, but the pricing that your attendee is willing to pay for this merchandise. So that's an important factor when determining pricing, right? No lead times required for producing, printing, and delivering. So how long is it going to take to produce this merchandise? And are you purchasing it? Do you know the number of people that are going to buy it? Are you able to buy in bulk? And if so, how long is that going to take to produce? So make sure you're building those times into your schedule. How and where will you distribute? Are you going to do online sales before? Are you going to do just on-site? Are you going to try to pre-sell this so you can purchase in those bulk numbers? So you want to make sure that you're taking that into account. Training, staffing, and security for on-site sales. So if you decide that you are going to sell your merchandise on-site, you want to make sure that you have cashiers for that, right? And know the procedures for that. And you also need to build in time to train the staff that's going to be selling this merchandise. And then lastly, to make sure that you research the laws and restrictions for where the merchandise is going to be sold. So in the city, not what your organization, where your organization is held, but where are you actually selling this merchandise? So make sure you research the laws and know the restrictions, and if you have to pay taxes. Okay, so we kind of moved through that pretty quick, and there was a lot of information to learn in marketing. So, but it all kind of ties together. So, develop your marketing plan, conducting a situational analysis using historical and current data to develop the marketing plan, meeting goals and objectives. Now, we also talked about before how if you have a marketing plan, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. You can use your marketing plan for your specific event. Identify target market segments using the situational analysis. Find out where is this audience? Where is your audience at? And who are they? And then select marketing distribution channels. Once you figure out who they are, where are they hanging out? Where are you going to market to these people using what delivery method? Where is your target market spending their time? Implement marketing plan to reach target segments to support the goals and objectives. Create and manage marketing materials. Determine the marketing materials that meet the needs. So what do your attendees, what do they want? You're going to have to fill that need for them. Develop marketing content and design based on the marketing plan. Produce and distribute marketing materials to target market. So this was the production, and how are you going to distribute on site, on the website, and things like that. To create and manage meeting or event design, determine product design and specification using the marketing plan to support the meetings and objectives. All right, so that wraps up the first 3 skills for marketing. And again, we know that it's off here. So we did 24, 25, 26. And that was wrapping up week 13, 24, 25, and 26. And then chapter 9 in the PMM book. And glossary terms, a little bit shorter than last domain. And we want to make sure that we have done our glossary quiz and the domain quiz and time blocked for next week, our last week in domain I. So we have a very short study time for next week. So as we're this time, we had an hour of videos. Now we're probably about a half hour of videos. So these last 3 skills are going to move pretty quickly. So make sure you're focusing on your vocab words and really just going through these last 3 skills. Do not lose steam. They're short. But great information included. So great job. Have a great week. Take those small steps forward, and we'll see you next week. Bye.